Hello everybody. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is a recording of a live stream that happened on ustream.tv. If you'd like to join in the chat, go to ustream.tv, look for Inky Obsessions, and click follow, and you should get alerted when I go live. I'm going to play with a watercolor based collage today, which I know is going to be tricky. Hey Tam, hey Carrie Ann. Because whenever I put layers over it, the watercolor is going to reactivate. And I know that, but I'm anxious. I just got the itch to play with watercolors, so I'm going to do it. I need some more ATCs for my Etsy orders, and that's how I make my ATCs. I just make a collage on this 11 by 15 watercolor paper and then cut it up into ATC sizes. So that's what we're going to do. It may work, it may not work. But I'm itching to play with some watercolors. Put a little water on them, get them a little happy. And I just got another order. Oh, you know what? I should have let Kat know. Chandra. No, hang on a second. Artistic Cat on Etsy, who is Chandra. Sorry, hang on. I'm like all kind of there we go. Hang on. Sorry, it's one of those days. I just wanted to send her a quick note. I invited her to join sometime to try to help promote her Etsy shop for her watercolors. Chandra is Artistic Cat, K-A-T-T, on Etsy. Maybe somebody can put her link up there for me. But she sells half pans of Daniel Smith watercolors. And that's where all of these came from. I placed a couple orders with her. And she also sells these tins, right? Which is just like the Schminke tin, but it's not labeled Schminke. Puts a little label on here for you. But those are a collection of my favorite colors. I've placed a couple of orders to get this collection, and I've got my shopping cart has a few more colors in it that I see people use and think, Mama like that. I got some overflow going into this little tin here. But anyway, I had, oh, thanks, Jen. There's Chandra's Artistic Cat Etsy link. So this is really great if you're not a big professional watercolorist, or even if you are, and you want to try a new color, or if you just want to dabble. These start at like, I think $5.50 and up to maybe $10 a half pan, depending on the price and the pigment that's in it, right? So you know how the other colors, depending on the pigments, are different different price points. So it's an easy way to get a little collection. Now, if you decide you like one color, like ultramarine turquoise and phthalo turquoise, when I run out of that, I'm probably going to buy myself a tube and refill her pan because I use that all the time. Hey, Kathy. That's some of my faves. But, you know, let's see. All right. Let's start slapping some color. And then I'm going to have to let this dry. And then we'll go back to that piece of Yupo that I sprayed with the fixative and see how that fixative fixed it. Hey, Nancy. I love this thing. I got it. I think I got it at Home Goods. But it's got 3 full-size mason jars. You might remember I had that little orange metal tray with tiny ones. These have the full-size mason jars, and Mama liked that one. All right, I'm gonna wet the paper and let some of this run and just have its way with the paper. Have its way. I don't think my Hake brush that I have won't fit in the hole of the mason jar. So I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. So we're up to 27 now in Maryland. So if anybody's on the fence, I got 3 more spots. They're first come, first serve. It's the end of July again in Maryland. Just saying. 3 more left. All right, that's got a good layer of moisture on it. All right, let's put in, oh look, phthalo turquoise. Oh, look at you. I'm going to let some of this wick out and get lighter and darker spots and look kind of watercolory. See some down here too. And I'm just slapping this down. This is going to be a background layer. If it works. You never know. And then I'm going to take some, I love this. This is a Core color. This one is not Daniel Smith. It's Core by Golden. Q-O-R. And it's the dioxazine purple. And this stuff, look how this travels. Let me bring in a little bit. This just wicks through everything and mixes, and it pushes turquoise out of the way. Oh, Mama like you. Get some of that down here. This I'll be buying another tube of. I had those little 5 mil tubes. I think I'm getting kind of low on that. But that just wicks in everywhere. Yes, indeed. So now the other one I really like is ultramarine turquoise, and I'm getting a little low on that one actually. That one's got a big gash in it. It's a little bit different color than the phthalo, but still in my wheelhouse, if you know what I mean. I'm going to get some more water down here. That kind of soaked in pretty good. And I do know enough about watercolor to be dangerous, so those of you who are watercolorists, buckle up, sunshine. Hey, Gail. I got your final payment, Gail. Thank you. Let's try this bright violet. This one's a Schminke color. Let's just put a little bit of that down through the middle here. Where'd it go? There you are. Let's get some of this duochrome aqua. This is going to be a really light color, but it's got that shimmer in it. So how bad can that be? Pretty bad if you don't get enough on there. Hey, Shauna. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Let's see, what else we got over here that I might want to put in there. Let's get the Schminka color in there. Ooh, look at you. I think this is that, what is it called? A helio turquoise in Schminka, I think. This paper is really sucking up the water. This is just going to be an underlayer. This isn't going to be, probably most of this won't even show when I'm done. Hey, Debbie, if I'm able to actually even do anything on here with the watercolor, because it is going to react. Maybe not so good. We're about to find out soon. All right, let me throw a little more of that dioxazine violet, or dioxazine purple. That's the core went through here. And look what that does. It just runs through there. Look, you can see down here a good example of what that does. See how that pushes that pigment? How cool is that up here too? Oh yeah. I don't know what that's going to do, rewetting that. But see down here, it even looks white where I put that duochrome. Let me go put some more in there and see if I can get it zhuzhed up a little bit. Hey, Carol. Other Carol. Hey, Beagle. Pick up some of this extra pigment here. All right, I'm just going to let this sit aside and let this dry. And then I'm going to go back to this. And this is my least favorite of those Yupo watercolor blobs and experiments I did with all the different dry pigments, dropping them in, and inks and salt and all that stuff a few weeks ago. And this is my least favorite one. And I sprayed it with this fixative, which is supposed to be for watercolors. But I just put my finger in it and got pink on my finger there. This probably may not end well. Let me just, what the hell was that? Hit this with my blow dryer. Oh, crap. Okay. I can't get this too hot because the Yupo will melt and warp. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit and hold it up away. Way away. It's wet here on these thicker places. It still feels wet. Over here it feels dry. Still feels a little sticky. All right, this is just an experiment. As I said, I do not like this piece. I don't like you. I don't care what you say. Let me try to throw something down on there. and we'll see what happens. So that's kind of busy. Ooh, gonna need to put something stark on there. Let's do a piece of this down there. Now I need to find my matte medium. Oh Lord. I'm gonna need the Vaseline net jar, I believe. Okay, I need a brush. Le brush. Let's just use this one. No, maybe a smaller one. We'll use this one. Okay. Hey, Trina. Yeah, I thought so. I'm right now, Trina. I am. I sprayed this with a fixative, and I'm going to test to see how it worked. It did leave some droplet marks on there. I don't know if you guys can see that, where that was more smooth. Focus. There you go. I can see it's giving me a little bit of dewdroppy kind of texture on there that wasn't there before. I can live with that. Texture's texture, right? This, let's see what happens here. I'm going to try to glue a piece down. The problem's going to be when I glue over top of this. I love this paper. This paper is kind of what inspired my pictographs. I think this is the one. All right, let's go down the middle so I get some of every area on here and see what happens. If I just try to do it on the top and not go all over it like I normally would, maybe we'll be okay. I don't know. This is so busy though. It's kind of, it's going sheer though on it. Is it me or, yeah, never mind. Never mind. So I'm trying to decide, do I want to put that fixative over the watercolor paper that I just did, or just roll with it? I'm inclined to just roll with it. Lordy, no wonder the jar's stuck. A little Vaseline in the lid to try to prevent that next time. You guys ever do that? Put Vaseline in the inside the rim of your adhesives and mediums so they don't glue themselves onto their bottle jar. It actually works pretty good. It can be a little messy because all that stuff stuck to the lid, but it's a good tip if you didn't know it. Most of you guys probably know it. I probably learned it from one of you. But there you go. All right, let me get this out of the way. Let me go back to this. Put that in there. I just love the look of watercolor. Yeah, that's what I think, Jan. Just go for it. What's the worst that can happen? Don't answer that. These colors are yummy. Thanks, Nancy. Hey, Lolly. Oh, yay, welcome. Glad you could join us live. Hey, other Nancy. I'm just drying off a piece of watercolor paper that I just slapped some watercolor on, obviously. It just got slapped. But I wanted to try to, I need some more ATCs for my Etsy orders. And I thought, of course, now it's all buckling, but that's okay. I thought I would try to, sorry, multitasking, that doesn't work on my brain anymore. Make it with watercolor background, which I know is going to present issues with wet medium I'm going to use to glue down the different elements that are coming up. But you just have to figure it out. So let's see. I'm going to take, oh, I know one thing I wanted to do. Hang on. I'm going to use that cashmere. Where's my cashmere? Cashmere. There we go. I'm going to use my ultra metallic cashmere from Color Art, right? And I'm going to use hang on. Where are you? I can use you. I'm looking for some stamps that I want. This one. And of course the one I want is probably berry. Maybe I'll just use this little one. All right, these will do. I want to use paint, use some acrylic paint and stamp. I need some watercolor brush info. Oh, wow. I don't know if I'm the one to ask about that. I've got all kind of different watercolor brushes. I do like the silver black, what are they, Black Label? These are really nice. Yeah, silver Black Label. They're, I think they're, they come down to a nice point. They feel nice in your hand. I think they are squirrel and some synthetic, a mixture of those. And these, I got these were recommended by Lindsay Wyrick, the Frugal Crafter. They're Mimic Creative Mark, and these are synthetic, but they're pretty nice too. I got all different kinds of ones. I don't know what the heck I'm doing with most of them. This is just a snap one. I think I saw Paula use this one time. This comes down into a micro thin point with just a couple of hairs, so that's really nice because you can cover a lot of area or just use that tip. And that's a Princeton brush. Well, you may or may not focus. Well, you'll have to trust me. That says Princeton. And over here it says Snap Round. That's a 16. That's about my knowledge of watercolor brushes. Hey, Gayla. So I'm going to take some of this paint. I'm going to use a small paper palette. You can see where I've done this before on these. They're kind of caked up. So don't really take care of my stamps that well. And I'm going to put down a little bit of this. Again, this is by Color Art. Where's the website information on here? Oh, it's really small. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. but it's color with a U and art with an E. There we go. Colorart.com. These are yummy. Yum, 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 yummy. So I'm going to put a little bit of this down. And I want to smear this out to kind of a thin layer. Kind of making this my stamp pad, if you will. I'm going to try to pick up a thin layer of the paint and see how this works. It could blob and be kind of funky, but we're going to go for it. Something on there. Let's see what happens here. Where's my baby wipe? My baby wipe. Well, we got snow again today here in Maryland on the day or two before spring, after not having any snow all winter. Had bad ice and stuff last week. What a pain in the neck that was. Poor Mojo. Fell twice on the steps. We had to start bringing him down the basement and taking him out gently. He was fine, but it scared the crap out of me. He cannot afford to be falling down and getting hurt at this point. And let's get some concentric circles in there of this stuff while I have the paint kind of lubed up here. Let's see. It doesn't matter where they go. Half will probably be covered anyway. Yeah, and that's okay. Put one in this dark spot. It'll show up a little better. So remember, this isn't going to be a collage that I'm going to do that has a focal point and that's going to be a finished art piece. I'm cutting this bad boy up into ATCs. So I'm going to cut it 2.5 inches wide all the way across here, right? And then 3.5 this way. And I'll get everything but an inch, right? An inch strip. So I think I end up with 15 or 16, I forgot. So it's all going to get cut up. So I'm not looking for a focal point. I'm just slapping stuff down here wherever I have a mind to put it. Doesn't really matter because this isn't all going to show up on one card, right? None of this is going to show up on one single card. Well, some of it might, but put that down here in this dark bit, run it off the edge of the page. And this will be a little more shimmery when it dries, but you can see the metallic in there. I'm just doing more because I have the paint. Do a row of those right there. See how they come out. You never know where this is going to end up. All right, good enough. Wipe that one off before it gets too hardened up. Hey, Sandy. Thanks for joining, everybody. All right, good enough. Now, let's see what the heck we're doing here. Oop. Let me hit that with my dry gun. The weather's been nuts here. Yesterday, we were out in shirt sleeves helping Dave's stepson and his wife move to their new house. By the end of the evening, when the sun went down, it was freezing. And then we got snow on the ground this morning. I went out and everything is covered with a light dusting of snow. The decks got covered in slush. And calls for more snow later today. What the hell, people? All right, let's see what I got in here in my little drawer of tricks. I'm hoping I have some Daddy Van pictographs is what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping indeed. I will put some of this on there for sure. Ooh, and maybe some of this. Needs a little pop of black and white. Yeah, I'm not looking at chat right now, guys, so I'm digging through my... Oh, crap, that's no good. Not sure what happened to that. Blurred up batch of something that used to be a pictograph. There's one already cut up. I thought I had more than that. Put some. I'm not sure. I'm hesitating on putting die cuts on there because of this being watercolor and because of how much matte medium I have to use to get these to stick and then do it over top. I know it's going to make the stuff move around. Maybe some of this wouldn't be a bad thing because the watercolor will show through that, right? That'd be kind of cool. In my head. Let me put this over here for a minute. Kind of buckled up too. Let me make sure everything's kosher with this text coming in. Sorry, guys. Oh, it's my boss. Hang on. Got a big thing coming to our pie around there. He's got to travel today to Los Angeles. We have a big trade show going on with a big announcement coming out tomorrow. And it's going to be a crazy week. That's okay. All right, make sure he's good. Sorry about that, but the shoe must go on, as they say. Get this out of my way. All right. I think I'm going to put this down first because this is thinner and not thinner. It's a little stiffer than this, where this will be, if I overlap this, that looks kind of cool with the checks behind that. If I overlap this, this is more likely to just go over the humps and bumps, where this is going to be, you know, that's thicker. That won't be that malleable. Is that the word? You know what I mean. So let's do some strips. I did, Jen, finish the box and I gave it to him and he loved it. It was a really cool thing. I'll try to show you some pictures. I won't show up good on my phone. I didn't want to post pictures of it until after I gave it to him. But this is what I ended up doing inside the lid. I painted a different frame all black and put that picture I had of the family in there. And I put a little metal plate on the bottom that says Capture Life's Moments, and that's on the inside of the lid with that Africa paper. Right? And then that's just another shot of the whole lid. Not focusing very well. And that's, well, you guys saw that. That's the finished lid. Too small in here to really, oh, it did focus real good there for a minute, didn't it? There we go. That's how the lid ended up. And my friend Vinny, that's a very good friend of Francoise, and who's also a sommelier that was trained in France, happened to know Francoise' favorite wine and had a cork. So I don't know if I have a picture glued the cork. Oh, that's what I did with the inside, with that little frame that I antique black and put the stripes behind it. And the Togo flag, I colored it on that tile. Right? And then the sides, you guys saw that, right? The sides with the gears on them, the silver and black. That had the key on the front. The other side, oh, here we go. Let me see if I can make that bigger. That was a French cork that Vinny had out of a bottle of wine that is Francois's favorite wine. I put on the side of the lid for handles. There's the other one. Right? And then you can't really see it. I put a plaque on the front. It was very clever, whatever it said. I don't remember what it said. Oh, you guys saw that. You guys saw that. But there you go. There's a kind of a blow up of the side edge of the box. All right, the Sienna logo, the Arsenal, all that good stuff that he likes. As he was looking at it, he was kind of like, oh, Sienna. Oh, an Eiffel Tower. Hey, Arsenal, Togo, soccer balls. Where'd you get that stuff? How'd you do that? Did you make that? How many hours did it take you to make that? Look at this sly look on the little devil. And my baby Owen. So, yeah, that was the box. It was good. Hang on. I'll show you a cute picture. We were just over, like I told you, helping Daniel and Nikki, Dave's stepson, move. They have a 1-year-old. And she just turns Dave to mush. Look at him play. Look at her looking up at him, playing with her with a book when we took our truck over Friday night. There she is. God bless him. Ah. Hey, Jen. Hi. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Anita. So I'm just going through. Hang on. That's good. Showing pictures of that box that I finished a little bit. So let's go. I'm going to turn the light on for here. This cutter has a light switch back here that lights up this panel that's below the cutting surface. This drops down. So you can see through the paper and see pretty close to what you're going to get. Now this paper's kind of thick, so I don't see a whole lot of that. And see, there's a hair. See that hair left on that edge? I don't like that. I'm going to cut it off. And this cutter will do that. If I can see, the cutter will do this. Let me rephrase that. Look, there it is. Here. He's gone. Yeah, this is a little too thick for the light. That light's not helping me. So do I want to... Let me just slap that right down the center somewhere. Or do I want to make it just single rows? Oh. Hey, Beth. I'm going to try to see how close I can get to making a single row here. I think that'll be better. Mo better. Oh, look how I could hit it crooked. That's the thing with any cutter when you get it really off the edge like this and not much to be able to manage holding on to the darn thing. There we go. Got that hair off of there. This is always kind of a crapshoot. A little hair off of there. But now, you know what? That wasn't too smart. Now it looks like these. I lost my checkers. Dumbass. Hang on. I'm going back in for my checkers. Oh, you know what I might do? Hold that thought. I want to get a This one. Is this big enough? Too small? Too big? It's going to be too small. Nope, too small. Crap. Will this one work? There we go. I'll make some checkerboards. Circles. There we go. Oh, that's an interesting piece too. Aha! All right, let's get these over here. That might be kind of cool on there, even. Oh, let me get a. Oh no, do I want? Hang on. Oop. I'll just go ahead and cut these up now, whether I use them or not. I do not know, but all right. Get some little pops of black and white to work with. And see, my painted papers that I usually use, I think are going to be too busy for this. Let me get this out of my way. Pull up my sleeves. See, I mean, this has good colors for this, but I don't know. Let's see. How small can I tear this? Oh, that might work. I might could do that. I'm gonna get me some black pictographs in there. A little pop of gold. Never hurt anybody. Maybe this light one down here. All right, we'll throw those in the mix. Oh, hang on. Hold the phone. Oh, that reminds me. I had something to mail to Glenda, and I totally forgot about it, and I stuck it in the drawer, and here it is. Let me put it in my face. Good night. Oh, and I got these little Jane Davenport tissue squares, but I'm not sure they're going to show up on that. To be honest, these watercolor swatches, would they show up maybe? I don't know. I'm going to think about that. Oh my God, that giant chicken gray. Oh my God, I looked at that and the first thing I thought of was Foghorn Leghorn on crack. Sweet Moses. All right, let's see what we got here. And again, I'm not really paying any mind to overall composition. I'm just, wherever they end up, they end up. Just trying to get a little bit of color in here and there. These are going to be all chopped up. Let's try that, shall we? Okay, here goes nothing. We're putting down, I'm not putting the fixative on this. Let's see what this is doing. And that's still really wet. I think that Yupo has something to do with it too, because that's not really paper that's going to absorb anything. Hey Beth, I am doing a collage that I'm going to cut up into ATCs for my little thank you cards I put in my Etsy orders. But instead of doing it with acrylics like I usually do, I'm starting out with a base of watercolor because I'm really itching to use watercolors. I've amassed quite the collection, and I just love the look of it, and I'm going to try it. And it could be a disaster because, as we know, watercolors water reactive, and I'm just going to have to try to give myself some room here. Try to control it as best I can with just gluing down. I want to make sure I get to all the little edges of these collage pieces so I don't have to go over so much on the top of them to get them to adhere, because that's where I'm going to run into trouble. It's going to smear underneath of this, and who cares, right? But there we go. And let's just start glowing. See what happens. It could come out being my favorite. It could be a disaster. I don't really care, because when there's a disaster, I learn. My new boss that I was just texting has something hanging in his office that says, I never lose. I either win or I learn. I love that. And it's true. He's so true. I'm kind of liking these little slivers of this paper. I may add more. Oh, I know what I want to put on here. Oh, I just thought of it. But I like how they tear down into a point. Because again, this is going to one card, they're going to cut down from the top 3.5 inches and 2.5. So they're all going to get little bits and pieces of this. None of the cards are going to end up seeing a whole chunk of any of this. They're going to be either a little teeny tiny works of art all on their own, hopefully. That is my hope. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit more of this black in here. I need to make more painted papers one day too. I love to make these. Put that one right there. It's so much easier, I think. Like, you guys know I'm a teal and purple freak, right? That's no shocker. But to me, it's so much easier to work with the colors that you love. Although I like to get out of the box every once in a while and try something I'm not a big fan of. To just make you think and use different stuff. But when I like the colors, I really like it. That's a pretty color, that light piece right there. Put that right there. Oh, sorry guys, I'm not watching the chat so close while I'm doing this. Bad lady. Oh, that's kind of lined up. Let's make that a little bit off of that. All right, so that's just throwing some little bits and pieces in there, right? Now let's get some, do I want to put that in there? I don't know. Because if it cuts up I don't know. We'll see. Thinking out loud. Thinking out loud. Put these away. That's all right, Dorothy. I'm an acquired taste. Oh, these. I need to get these in there. But like I said, I'm going to put the black and white down first. Stick with the program, Patty. Let's just slap some of this in there. Let's just slap it down. Go right down here. Come from the top. And this, I'm going to go over the top, but I'm going to go sideways, kind of staying black on black and white on white as I go down. Because I can't remember if I printed this off my inkjet or a laser jet. A laser jet, that color's fixed, but an inkjet, it could smear. We don't need any smears at this point. It's my whole thing. I'm trying not to smear. All right, let's put this one down here maybe. All right, my little sideways action. Let's get her glued up. And then we'll do something sideways here. Oh, that one's cut crooked. That's all right. That's the beauty of cutting this baby up. Your screw ups will be hidden. Oh, crap. Crappity crap crap. Sliding on me. Skizzers here. Get rid of this piece. I don't need you. And I don't need you. Oh, that one's kind of fine. There we go. All right. We're going to put you, you little rascals. Let's just bust up some of this area up in here. Wherever they go, they go. I thought I had more than 3. 4, 5. Well, let's see what we're going to do with these bigger ones. Oh, Jesus. Give me a heart attack. Ah! Go that way. Let's do this. Let's cut this bad boy in half-ish. And let's do maybe one up here. And maybe Maybe one down here. Right. Let's glue some of these down so I have an idea what's happening. Too many moving pieces. But this will give you a little pop of black and white. And when you cut these up, I'm hoping it will be good. It always is, I think. But that's just to my eye. Everybody likes something different. I'm going to make that one go like a harlequin. Turn it up on its side. Look at you, you clever girl. That phone scare you too, Joan? Soccer ball. Oh, crap. I can't get away from the soccer balls. I didn't even think about that. But we'll see. Maybe some of them will get cut up. Well, I know they will. Turn this around so I can reach it a little better. I like these half ones along the edges. All right. I don't want to cover this up, really. I don't want to do it. I'm going to cut this one in half and use it somewhere else. Put you right there. Sort, kinda. All right. Getting glue boogers on my fingers. Is that one glued down? No. Okay. Glue you down. All right, let's see. Yeah. I know you're needed somewhere. Where are you needed? I'm not wild about this area right in here. I think I'll put it right there. And that looks like it's kind of close to all that other black and white. But you got to keep in mind, it's going to be all chopped up. The chances of it all falling into one ATC is slim to none. All right. Heat gun. Give me time to think. Hey, Vicky. Hey, Bunny. Thanks for joining, ladies. All right. Hang on. Let me have a little look-see in here real quick. Remember these tissue papers I jelly plated? Oh, remember these? Little surfboards. I don't know if I'm going to use these, but I'm going to cut them out, and I'm going to leave the littlest black border around there to give the illusion of them being outlined. I have to make more of these. I used these in that one. Remember that metallic collage that I did when I went on my little metal rose gold kick there for a while? And these came out really cool in a collage. Because this silver end, for whatever reason, I don't know if this has like got navy in here or something in this black, but it came out kind of teal when I glued it down, which of course appealed to me. So Dorothy, I know you're still on here, I think. You know, I had that doctor's appointment I told you about last week. Of course, it got canceled because of the snow. So now I'm going this Thursday. I only have 2 of these. I usually work in 3s, but again, because it's getting chopped up, I can let go of that compulsion. All right, let's see what we got here. I might have enough black and white on there. Where am I going to put you, my little beauty? There's certain things I don't want to cover up. I love the way that purple and teal ran together down there. And here in this corner. And up there. So I'm trying not to cover those up. That's why I'm just not slapping it. I don't know, but this I could maybe throw a little of that in there. What the hell? Let's do it. Let's do it. Break up that circle a little bit. I think that looks cool. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be any snow to accumulate. The roads are all clear. We just had it on the deck and in the yard this morning. Let me put you right there. This is actually working better than I thought it would as far as smears go. I'm pleasantly surprised I haven't had as much reacting as I thought I might at first. I'm going to get some of this in there, though. These are kind of big, but what the heck. Let's try to tear off some of this. This should tear pretty easily. Oop, don't want to tear that. Come on, baby. Work with mama. And it's kind of flat on that side. I'd have to use that on an edge. Is there an edge I want to sacrifice at this point? I don't know. Maybe I worked myself out of the... Of course, I'm tearing off another edge piece. Hello. Actually, they're almost all edge pieces. This one's not. This is cool paper. This is called Whimsy White Focus. I got it at Dick Blick's. It's 12 by 12 piece. There we go. They also sell it in the big 30-inch sheets or whatever they are. I got this when I was in Chicago a few years ago at the mothership of Dick Blick. I heard the angels sing as I walked in. It's a fact. It's what I heard in my head. I don't care what anybody else says they heard. All right, let's see. Can I do something with this without really futzing it up? This is kind of sacrificial right in here. There's nothing. I like this, but it'll show through. Maybe I can go off the edge with that to get rid of that piece that broke. And the color's going to come through there. I might just do that. I think I'm gonna. We'll figure it out. A lot of goop on there. All right, here go nothing. Oh yeah, that's going to pretty much translucent, which I figured it would. Ah, that's kind of cool. Little texture in there. I can live with that. I can live with that. Now, that sounds like more. Let's see. Let me take another one that's not an edge piece. That really all shows through, so I'm not worried about what I'm going to cover up so much. I'm going to put you right there. Oh, rascal. That's where you're going to go. Hope you like it there. I swear, sometimes I think I lost my mind talking to my art stuff. I'd probably, the sad part is, be doing the same exact thing, whether I had the camera on or off. which is a little spooky, gotta tell you. Oh, and I'm covering up that piece I didn't want to cover up, but oh well. Shit happens. This way, I'm gonna go this way. I am truly surprised at how this is working with the watercolor underneath here, which is great news because I will do this again. And it doesn't have any fixative under it. It's just watercolor, and I start slapping stuff down. On a roll now. I think I'm going to put you. Oh, I don't want to cover that up, did I? I might put you right there. What the hell? All right. Hey, Star. Hang on a second. I got my brush in my mouth. I'll show you the label. These are papers. I got these at Dick Blick at the store, but they do have them on the website. I'll show you the number again. Glue boogers. Ew. Well, wasn't it called Whimsy or something? Where the hell did it go? I haven't moved from this spot. I know that. Well, have you ever seen anything that crazy? And stick to the back, although that did. Well, I don't know where that went, but it was, I think it was called Whimsy. Well, that is crazy. It was 12 by 12. No idea. Oh, thanks, Jen. Bailed me out again. Actually, I really like that little pop of white in there. And it's see-through, so you only really are going to see these strings. I'm going to dry it. Keep going. I put a lot of matte medium on these. Whimsy. I thought it was Whimsy. Thank you. I have no idea where that could have gone. I just pulled it off. Oh, maybe did I reach to throw it in the trash? I did. What do you know? See if I can get that to focus for you. There's the number. Hopefully. There you go. That's it. I'll leave that out there in case somebody else comes in and asks me. Hey, Star. Another star. Welcome. We get 2 stars. Thanks for joining. Glad you could make it. I'm making a collage right now on watercolor paper, and I started with watercolors. So I didn't know if it was going to be a success or a failure because I put all this wet medium on it to glue my bits on it. So far, it's actually working. It's actually working. I wish this came up the right color, because to me it looks like all different shades of cobalt and royal blue, a little dark purple, and pink. And if you saw it in purple, I mean, in purple, in person, all this right here, all through here, this is all really turquoisey. And it's really, really much, it's prettier to my eye in person. Let's see, do we have more people now? Yeah. I'll mention one more time, ladies, for our Maryland art retreat in the end of July. This is our 3rd year doing it, and I have a maximum of 30 people. Right now I have 27. So if anybody's interested, send me a private message on Facebook or email me, and I can get you the information. But I got 3 open chairs, first come, first serve. See, this heat gun looks orange on camera. It's as red as Christmas red can be. So it's red. Let me turn this light on here. See if that makes a difference. Did that make a difference? That's that natural daylight lamp. Actually, they put all the fluorescent bulbs over my head now, or the daylight true tone bulbs. It must be something with the way the computer and the camera reads it or something, because the light looks pretty good down here now. You'll all just have to come over here and play with me in the basement so you can see the color of this stuff. That's the only solution I can come up with. That's all I got. Okay, let's see. Oh crap, I glued my brush down to my work surface. That was really clever. Put that in some water. Put the lid on there while I think. All right. I think I want to put some more metallic on here. I have the cashmere. I have the gold streaks that came off on that painted paper. And I have this copper that went into silver that causes a rose gold in here. So I got it all mixed up with metallics. But I want to put some like mason jar lids of, maybe I'll use silver. Or, even more clever, I'll combine silver with copper and go for the rosy gold a little bit. Come on over, Joan. NCB, I got room for you. All right, so I'm going to throw a little bit of, do I want to do that next? No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to take a white pen. Let's see which one's going to cooperate with me. All right. Oh, this one's still wrapped up. I wonder if the lid won't come off. Hello. Twist that bad boy to get that off of there. This, I saw somebody did a video on these. They were looking for an opaque white, real opaque paint pen. And this is the one that won the, and see, that's Christmas red and it's coming up orange. Edding. And it writes on glass, metal, plastic. Edding.com. But I think I might have got them on Etsy, actually. I mean, Amazon, I think. I don't know. It's been a while, but they got all different size tips. And it's like any paint. Oh, that's fine. Oh, you're fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. And then you just pump it to get her going. I don't think I've used one. I've used them, but they have a bigger tip that I've used. This one's so fine. It's got that metal casing around the tip instead of the big felt tip that comes out, right? Come on, work with me, baby. There we go. Takes a minute to get these bad boys primed sometime. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go and put some little white marks in the black bits here. Let me just try. This might be too fine for dots. Hang on, I gotta text Dave about something. He's upstairs, but you know, we're so high tech here. Shoot. Gotta type 4 words and I can't spell one. All right, we'll see what that's going on there. Wonder if I can do something in here, like a kind of a Greek key kind of a thing in these, maybe. Something different. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. Just to give it a little more interest instead of just the stark black and white. I like to go do a little dance. These are fine little teeny weeny dots. Look how tiny that. Oops. Bumping the camera. Look like stitches almost. All right, let's see. What else can I do here? Got my arm leaning in this glue. Not pleasant. Hmm. I don't know why circles hit me to put in here, but I'm gonna. I'm not watching the chat right now while I'm putting these lines in, guys. This is pretty opaque, though. This one doesn't have much room for anything. Yep, no, it's still wet. I'm gonna ruin that pen. Girl, get that pen. I might have done it in. That's still wet. We will come back to you, my friend. All right. What am I going to do with you in here? Crap. Oh. Oh, I just pulled the whole nib out. Oh, wow. Jeez Louise. Ah. I think she's a goner. Dang on it. Not? Is it okay now? What the hell? Let's try it again. Oh, now it seems to be working semi-okay. Oh, it's getting a little iffy. A little iffy. All right, let's stop while we're ahead, shall we? All right, keep going while I think. This is a little wet down here still. See, this looks really busy, but when you look at it, knowing it's going to be cut up, like this area right here, that's going to be kind of boring. Not much happening in there. This area right here, not so much. So I got my little head thinking of what I can do in there. I need to get rid of some of this stuff down here. I think I'm going to have some stuff for the share table this year at the retreat that I haven't used. I get, if you don't use it, pass it along to somebody else who's going to use it. Oh, idea. Remember this? My PBO, however you say this. I've always said PBO. Paint marker. And this one is silver. It's oil-based, which doesn't really matter. But this looks like a mirror. No, the colors on my paper are not showing up true at all. This is all this up here, all this down here, all this right here is a true turquoise. It's coming out more cobalt looking. This looks like hot pink. It actually did fade out to kind of a bright pink through here. That was a violet that I put on there, kind of pinked out. But all this, the majority of this is turquoise. The purple, that comes pretty close actually. But all this up here, that's just as turquoise, greeny, teal as you can get. So I don't know how to fix that. I was on the phone with Apple one time for like an hour and a half. Looked at all kind of settings and stuff. Nothing. There we go. This comes out so stinking cool. It's like a mirror. Let's see how it dries over top of that watercolor. And I'm just going to go in and plug in some holes here where I feel it needs a little something else going on. What did I say in here, right? Oh, they're a little crooked. Like I'm doing it left-handed. It's go down the edge here, just get half and half on here. I love these 15mm nibs. They give you an instant rectangle. And they look like they're soaking in a little bit more to this watercolor paper, but it's all right. Let's go this way. Some single pops in here too. You don't always have to have it multiples. Let's see what happens. Look at this dark bit right here. Where do I want to put you? Whew. It smells though. Definitely oil based. Poo tinky tinky, as we say. They are pretty shiny though, if they catch the light right. Love that paper. What is the name of the mirror paint pen? It is, hey Teresa, it is a Pibio brand, and it's called 4 Artist Marker. I think I got it at Dick Blick. They have all different tip size. Brilliant gloss, opaque, permanent, oil-based. And this one is silver. I don't know if the color's on here or not. Yeah. Right. And it's got a 15-inch nib. But it does come out looking like a mirror. And it does soak in a little bit when it dries on this watercolor paper. However, pretty good. Yep. Oh, thanks, Jen. Thank you, thank you. My link girl, the link master. I'm going to hit this stripe right here with it and see how it comes out on the white. This one didn't come out right. I'm thinking it need, well, I might put that 3D tulip stuff on here in black and white later. I'm just looking where this seems dark to me and trying to put a little something in there. Or bland. Even if just one little pop. All right, I'm going to stop there for now. For now. I may add more. Yeah, that silver really brightens it up. Keep going. He's sparkly. Wow, I put a lot on there now that I'm actually seeing it all. That's okay. You're talking about deliveries on weekends, Carrie Ann? I have ordered something. I think it was early one Sunday morning on Amazon, and that evening an Amazon car dropped it off on our front porch. Now we are fairly close to a big distribution hub, but it's still 25-minute drive probably from here. I'm thinking, who the heck's at our front door? It's like, holy crap, it's Amazon. Are you kidding me? You got to watch drying this oil stuff with the heat gun. It doesn't dry like acrylic does, and I don't even know if I should be doing that, to tell you the truth. But I'm holding it up kind of high, hoping to just get the moisture out of it and evaporate it a little bit sooner so I can handle it. Hang on. This is in every language but English, I think. Oh, there we go. What the hell does it say? Opaque, bright, and permanent marker can be applied on multiple surfaces. Light fast, dries quickly, does not contain xylene. Store flat. You can tell some of this is still has a little puddle underneath of it. Can you see the little puddle texture underneath that on that edge? I've made the mistake of touching that before and pulling it up on my finger that it is wet underneath of there. So we'll try to be respectful of that. Let me get this stuff out of my way here. Oop, where's my black and white drawer? There we go. All right. Kind of miss my little black pictographs in there. I got a few of them in on that painted paper, but not just stark on that watercolor. But now I'm kind of running out of room anyway, so I guess I can live with it. I wonder if I just tried to stamp instead of collage a piece on some of these places that are kind of flat. Let me try it and see. I'm going to go down this edge right here. The paper's kind of buckled. But there's no texture there, just paint. Oh, I got them in there. That's not bad. Usually I collage them because I get so much stuff layered on here, you'll never get a clean stamped image. But on these places where I have nothing but watercolor, maybe a little bit of like where I stamped the ultra at the beginning, maybe I'll try to stick my stamp strategically. Where there's just, it's going on paper with just watercolor on it. There we go. Not bad. This looks kind of close down here, but I'm going to put it in there anyway because when they get cut up, not so much. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use this other one. Different images in here. Huh. Do I need to put you there? Maybe not. It's still wet. Can I squeak in there? Let's see what that looks like. What the hell? I got a little bit of action in there. I'll just put a little blob down there. All right, let's not go too crazy. All right. Do I want any black circles? I wonder if I can, where I have this, see where I have that metallic circle, if I can just like, I can't see because it's a wooden stamp, to offset it a little bit. I'm going to try it. Shadowed it just a little. This is on my first set of rubber stamps that I did. It's actually very useful. Who doesn't like a concentric circle here and there? I ask you. I like that. Popping in a little more black. Could use a little bit more black. That's kind of overlapping, but we'll see what it looks like. What the heck? Sometimes I got to get it further away from me to be able to see what I need right there, for instance. Giving it a little bit of layers. All right. Scan it before you cut it up. Well, the problem with scanning it, Jen, is I have that scanner mouse. However, with all this texture on there, that mouse bumps up over top of it. You don't get a clean swipe on it like this on a flat piece of paper. It makes it really difficult. Plus the paper's buckled itself. See what I mean? It would be really difficult to try to do that. I may try, just for giggles. Oh, remember I was telling you guys about Chandra with her watercolor Etsy shop? I wanted to make sure I showed you guys this while we set this off dry. I got all these from Chandra and these. Had a little overflow. She has an Etsy shop called Artistic Cat, K-A-T-T. And she sells half pans of Daniel Smith watercolors. I think she's got a few Schminkas in there as well. But she also sells collections. Like if you're going to do, and I can't tell you the artist's name, but there's several artists on there where she's done collections for their classes, where they're doing watercolor classes and they want you to have this palette that's their palette. She sells collections that are already put together like that, which is pretty cool. She sells a starter kit that's got a pad of paper, a brush or two, I think a smaller palette with a basic set of watercolors in it. And she sells them individually, and they're grouped in there by color. Like you'll see the reds and oranges. and you'll see the greens, and you'll see the blues, and you'll see all the Primatech colors, which are the natural stone colors. But these were my pick of colors that, I like all that bright stuff, right? But, and I've accumulated these over 2 or 3 orders, and I have more in my shopping cart as I see them demoed or whatever on YouTube videos that I'm watching. Think, ooh, I probably should have that color. And it's a cheap way to get a big assortment of what you want without having to buy full tubes. They start at like maybe $5.50 and go up to $10.50 depending on the pigment. Some pigments are way more expensive than others. But then when I decide that I like a certain pigment, I'll probably go buy that tube and refill her pan. But it's a really cool presentation how she ships, and she's got everything wrapped in little vellum bags, and it's washi taped on, and then she gives you these little dot cards for samples for other colors, right? That's kind of cool. And she hand fills every one and lets them dry in layers, so it takes maybe a couple weeks to get it shipped, but well worth the wait and well worth the price. And then she'll put a little my watercolor sticker on here so you can personalize it. But I really love her site. So I wanted to mention that again. Oh, it was still in my little pea brain. She's going to join us sometime live for a stream when I do more watercolor stuff. I forgot to mention it to her until we were already streaming, so I'm sure she's a busy lady, and I didn't see her pop in unless I missed her. All right, I think I'm going to come back with my jar lid. Use my jar lid. And that's what I started to do. I so rudely interrupted myself. I'm going to take some Golden's silver, iridescent silver fine, and iridescent copper fine. And I'm going to put a little teeny tiny stream of a circle around here. Circle-ish. And I'm going to let these mix. And when they mix, they're going to give me kind of a rosy gold, kind of like in here. I'm going to pop some circles all over this and cut it up. Chop up the design, I mean. I'm not ready to cut it up just yet. So I'm going to spin this, mix it a little bit, right? And this is going to look like too much, but that's what I'm going for. Too much. Ew, that's not good. That wasn't mixed enough. Let me mix this a little bit more. Let's try that again, shall we? And it's not going to touch everywhere because of all the texture that's on here. I'm not sure I like that, to tell you the truth. You know what? I might just stick with silver. Or do I want gold? Let's go silver. I hate to waste the Golden's paint, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Let's see how this looks. I think with all the silver in here and that little pop of gold, that'll be all right. And I get them overlapping. I might do it down here in the corner just to get that little bit in there. All right. I'm going to really mush it up here. So I want this cutting through no matter what angle I come on here. There's going to be a sliver of these. So I'm not going to get circles on any card. I'm going to get curved slashes of this when I cut it up into ATCs. You dig? That's why I'm doing this so many times. You guys have seen me do this before. This is nothing new to you professional viewers. I know this looks like I'm going crazy, but, well, maybe I am. I try to intersect them like, you know, the Olympic rings. Or was it Ballantine beer? Good Lord, I'm old. Squirrel! Gayla, I saw that. Hurts my feelings just a little, but it's true. All right. And now, I think I know what's missing is those big streaks of the 3D stuff I'm going to put on there. And I'm going to do it. But first, I think we need some splots. Put a little silver down there. I think it's calling for silver splots. I was going to shake that silver pen, but if you turn the lid over, would it make a double ring? I don't know. Where the hell did I put it? Did I put it away? Oh, look at me. So efficient. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to do it on here in case I don't like it. Off to the side. Yeah, but not very well. I think it schmutzes it too bad. That would have been cool though. In the drawer. Thanks, Star. Yeah, it's not very deep. The etch on there isn't very deep at all, and it kind of just pools and runs together. I mean, it's just the most minor groove on there. So I was going to splash that mirror-like pen around, but if you can see, as I've touched this accidentally, it's still not really dry, and I'm leaving some incriminating evidence of my fingerprints in some of those little squares. I'm going to call that texture and act like I meant to do it, so anybody that's not watching won't know. But I think it's going to take a while to dry with that, especially if it's big fat beads of paint that come out. So I was going to water down this and splatter it. However, do I have some silver ink? Hang on. Silver. Do I have silver? Gold. I know I have to have silver ink in here. Gold. Space. Silver. Oh, hang on. Where the hell did I move that stuff to? I have this gold. That's real mirror-like. Maybe that's what I should do. I don't have it in silver. Oh, I do. Oh, I do. All right, let me try these two. What time is it? 1 o'clock. 1:05. I got 55 minutes. So this I've used many times before. And this is a Viva Decor. Viva Decor? Is that what it's called? Viva. It's from Germany. Viva. And of course, I don't know what that means, but it's gold ink. And this comes out very metallic looking. And I have it in silver. So I'm going to assume that that's going to happen here too. Maybe I'll do that on a practice piece first, because I've never used the silver. I might even have to cut this open. Oh no, I must have used it because it is open a little bit. Let me mix this up a little more. Let me see what this looks like next to that. This probably isn't the best paper to be testing that on. Let's do this for giggles. All right, broke my daggone glasses. Look at that. One of my eyepieces is off. I got to figure out something with that. It's been sticking in my nose all weekend. That's actually pretty bright silver. Maybe I'll do both. Maybe I'll do silver and gold because I do have a little bit of gold in there. Let me close this. I'm going to get ink all over my watercolors. You know that's what's going to happen. And I like these little, when you get them, you cut off this little tiny end on here. But they shake out really well and splatter quite nicely. There's a little gold in there too. It's more of a contrast. Is Jean here? She loves splotch, you know. All right. See little spots and splatters through there. Now I'm going to hit that with a heat gun. Try to dry that up a little bit. And then I'm going to slice up some of those, not slice, but squeeze out some of my 3D, what's that stuff called? By Tulip, I think. Where did I put those? Pray tell. Here we go. Black and white. I have silver, but I think it just needs more black for sure. Set that upside down for a while. Come on, work with me. Where are you going to sit up? There you go. Pinch those in the drawer upside down. So, these are the Tulip Slick 3-dimensional fabric paints. You can get them at Michael's for $4 or so. And I'm just going to put some, I like that finishing touch on there again. So, Jenna, I'm sorry, hon, are you asking me about the inks or the squeezy stuff? Hang on. I'll show you. Here, these are the inks. If they're by Viva. Marmorier tint. I don't know how you say that. In gold. And this is the one in silver. And then the tulip paints. Here are those. The slicks. I'm just going to put black and white on this one. I have some silver and gold in these too. And metallic, but you know what I might do? I might cut this up first so you guys can see it cut up and then lay it down like I did that one time and spritz on this stuff. It's a pain in the neck because then I have to go back and cut all the edges of all 16 cards or however many cards I get out of this. After it dries, I have to go back and trim each one, but otherwise you won't get to see what this actually looks like. I mean, I'll post pictures, but I don't think it's the same. I was watching it happen. What kind of metal? Oh, that's not a question to me. Okay. Hey, Laurie. Thanks, Kia. Yep. Looks overly busy, but that's the point of it. I got to get it overly busy, so there's something going on in each little section that I cut up. Misery cuts is one. This gold looks like it's taking a long while to dry. You know, I just had an idea. I'm gonna. Oops. It's taking a while to dry. I'm gonna set this aside for a couple minutes. Some of these bigger gold blobs are still puddles. I don't know if you can see that or not. You'll just have to trust me. And I thought about like, oh, that's transparent too. I showed these guys earlier. I did some of these on white. I did some of these on transparent. Let me put a light behind it. You can see what I'm talking about. So you can see it is transparent. Not that I don't think you'd believe me, but you know, just in case. I was thinking that maybe I would just put some stamps, black stamps on this and cut this up and make little ATCs out of it. Maybe? Let's see. Oh, here's my bigger concentric circle. I had it already on a mount. I knew I had that damn thing in there somewhere. Hiding it from myself. Maybe I'll use that. Or maybe what I should do is cut these up first and then stamp them. For a change. Hi, Larlu. I really like this down here. With that had that African jade primary element mixed in with the watercolor. Hello, leather. So let's see. It's the most advantageous angle to cut these to get the most ATCs out of this bad boy. So this is 9. So I need 2.5. 1, 2. I'm going to get 3 wide that way. If I go this way, that's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hell, let's just start cutting, see what happens. Too much thinking. Oh, mama. Let's see. So this is 9. 1, 2.5. Here we go. Done. Committed. 1. I don't want to do that. Let's see, what do I like better? This side or this side? I'm going to lose a side. Let's lose this edge. So go to 2.5 that way. Ooh, but look how pretty that little sliver is. All right, so now let's go 3.5. 3.5. Oop. Screwed it up. I'm telling you, I'm a danger to myself. So there's 3 different ones. They're kind of cute. Cute little ATCs. Let's do this. Let's do it the right way. I always hate hanging it over here instead of leaving it rest straight over here, but whatever. Let's see. Let's do it go this way. 3.5 that way. Two. That look cool with that little bit of green up there. 3. Right, is that what I got? That's what I got. All right. We'll mess around with these while the other one's drying. They're kind of pretty little tidbits, aren't they? Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. We're either having snowstorms, ice storms, or pollen. It's gone from 80 degrees to... Oh, excuse me, to 6 degrees in a week. Somebody's trying to... Look at that with that African jade flashing up and through here. That light tealy color. But that's pretty interesting on its own, right? At least I think so. What the hell do I know? Let's try this. Now let me see how ink stamps on this. And this one's pretty painted up. Let's see what we get. Huh. It's kind of beating up. But that might be the look. You know what I mean, Vern? Get that extra ink off of there for a minute. Let's try. I picked a graph on here. Oh, it does kind of look like Northern Lights. See if it was that stamp because it had so much paint on it. Yeah, that one's not beating up as much. So apparently it's just going to be the ones I got so much paint glopped on. Imagine that would ever cause a problem. Oh. Let's do a mermaid tail, shall we? Oh, and maybe some feathers. Maybe this. Oh, a poppy. These aren't my poppies, but there's a poppy that I like. Doesn't always have to be mine. Let's try some of these. All right. Lots of stuff here. All right. Let's try. Oh, this might be too big. Oh no, don't want to be too big. Okay, we're going in. Putting a mermaid tail on the Northern Lights. Oh, maybe this one looks more sea-ish, more movement. Do I want to come up out of the water like that, maybe? Oop. Schmutzed a little bit, honestly. I felt it slide a little. But it's on there. And then let's put a couple little, maybe some dots down the side. Just down the edge, maybe so. Oh, you know what? I have some metallic ink pads. Imagine that. I wonder where they would be. Miscellaneous ink pads. Ta-da! Let's see what happens here. Ooh, looks a little funky. Well, we'll see. This is what this is. Stays on metallic. It comes with this little, oh, I got it on my hands and it's sticky. This may be, I don't know. Oh, hello. The squeeze thing came out of the lid. That's probably not good. See the little nozzle came out? This is not going to end well, is it? Oh, it's not even looking metallic. It looks red. So I'm thinking all the mica is on the bottom. I'm guessing this may not be a very good ink pad. Oh, now the nozzle came back out. Oh yeah, that had separated. That's probably not going to end well. Well, we'll try it. What the hell? So now you take this little spatula, as my husband would call it. I'm going to mix that up. And then you scrape it into the sponge. Oh, that might be way too much. Whoa, baby. Oh, hell. This is going to be a big fat mess. Yeah, crap. Okay. Well, let's see what we can do to salvage this beast. It's wasting a lot of ink, but there's nothing else to do with that. Crapola. Okay. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Yeah, I remember why I don't use these that often. Oh. Okay, let's try where's my one with the anchor on it? There it is. Very yellow for now. Let's see what happens when it dries. In the meantime, I'm not using that anymore. Seemed like a good idea at the time, and now not so much. Let's get you out of the way for now. You might end up in the shitter. I have a white one. Maybe I'll use a white stamp on some of the darker ones. I don't know. That's not really doing anything for me. To tell you the truth. This one's kind of dark. Let's try the white. Wait a minute. Maybe we should try the white on this. How about that? Oh, that doesn't look so white anymore. Grayish. It's not big enough for one of these feathers, but let's do it anyway. Hey, Jane. And Orla snuck in on me. Hello, ladies. Okay, I'm just playing now, trying to kill time while my collage into ATCs on watercolor is drying with the last layer of ink. Jean, you missed all the splots. Vivids, Patty, the only way to go. Vivids. Oh, the ultra vivid metallic, you mean? Alright, let's just try that for giggles. Kind of faint, but isn't this the one that's supposed to dry more opaque? These are some of the big sheets of the watercolor I did on Yupo. Cut up. That's pretty faint, if you ask me. So I don't know. Maybe it's the Yupo, maybe it's because it's on watercolor, maybe it's going to get brighter as it sits there. I do not know. To be quite honest, this is an experiment. Get another baby wipe. Ah, crap about a baby wipe. Hang on. Where would I put you, baby wipes? Oh, I think I know where it is. Oh, Lord. I am all jacked up today. So sore. We helped Dave's stepson and daughter-in-law move into a new house yesterday, and I didn't do all that much. I wiped out her kitchen cabinets. I helped her pack some boxes. I didn't carry anything heavy. I can't do that anymore. As sad as that sounds, it's not possible. But I was hurting last night, and I wasn't too bad this morning, but as I got up to move around, I am still kind of jacked up, I gotta tell you. Now I had to, where the hell would I go? Baby wipes. Are they in one of my new drawers, maybe? Would I have done that? Made a baby wipe drawer? It's ringing a bell. My baby wipe, baby wipe, baby wipe, baby wipes. And now, crap. Oh, that ticks me off because I know I have some. I've organized myself into oblivion. Glue stick sponges. Well, aren't you a rascal? I'm doing a visual scan of my whole area here, trying to see where, in all my infinite wisdom, I would have stashed the baby wipes. And as per usual, I am not that wise. Because I can't find them in my own damn studio. And I use that term loosely, trust me. Well, not working out. Note cards, glue sticks, stamp carving, beads, alcohol rings, bookbinding. Oh, I got a drawer for everything. Oh, Jesus. That was a craft-a-lynch. All right, well, we'll No baby wipes for me today. Put that on my list for my next trip to the store. All right, let's see what happened here with the white. That's not that white. I gotta tell you, maybe it's drying up some. I don't know. Okay. Now let me try this white. This is a color box white. Let's see if that's any more white. Ooh, that looks pretty white, actually. Well, let's just do it over top of this. Different angle. See what the difference is. Oh, that's whiter. Whiter, whiter, whiter for sure. You can actually see this. Lori, I think I had a pack or two left over from, oh, you know what? Maybe that was from the first year when I bought them. I don't remember, but I know. Oh, you know what? Here's a little travel pack right in the drawer with my other ones. You goober. But, ooh, these are wet. Good night. Got that stamp soaked. All right, let's see what we can do with this white then. That looks a little better. And I don't want to keep my eye off the prize. Let me see how this one's going. That's getting pretty dry. All right, we may switch up and go there. So this one's kind of dark. Let's put some white feathers on this. Let's do this. Can I put two of them on there? Will that fit on there? Not really. Don't really need two on there, I guess, but well, we'll try it. See what we get. Miss Aromatica. That's a new name for me. Welcome. All right, I'm just killing some time right now. I was working on a collage that I actually started with watercolors for a change to see how that would work. I thought it was going to be a fail because I figured they'd reactivate and get all muddy with everything I glued on top, but they did not. So it was actually a success, and I almost finished it. Let's do that. In the meantime, I was cutting up some of this Yupo that I did that where I watercolored it and I added all sorts of primary elements and different pigments, powdered pigments in the watercolors and let it dry on Yupo. So I cut some of that up. I'm in need of more ATCs for my Etsy orders. I put one in for a thank you when I send out an order. Oh, that's kind of cool. Mama like that. Okay. Well, now I know this is my white ink of choice. Donna Salazar Designs Mixed Media Inks, INX. Oops, the lid's not very good though. It barely fits on there. I'm surprised it hasn't dried out, but it has not. And I've had this for a number of years. So, kudos to that very vibrant white ink. And we'll see if it, once it dries, if it's permanent on that Yupo paper. All right, I'm going to move these other little bits. This one can go. This one can go. Move these out of my way for later. And before my time runs out, I've got 21 minutes to... Isn't that cool? That's the piece I cut off the edge of that Yupo. Look at you, yumminess. I love you. All right. Oh, I had a mess down here after I did that box for my buddy Francois. It took me about a half an hour to clean up this morning to make a hole for myself. All right, I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to get rid of this so you can see what I'm looking at here. Put a clean layer down. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these up. Patty must be hot mess weekend. I'm looking at one myself. I know I'm not alone. I am not alone in the hot mess department, I'm sure. But, ooh, lordy. Okay, so here's where I ended up. And I'm going to put that black 3D stuff on here, but I'm going to cut these up first. Because if I do that now, you won't get to see them cut up. And to see how, for those of you that are new, it looks like I've lost my mind doing this, that it's so overly busy. Well, and that may be true. But when you cut these up, I don't know if you've ever taken a Dina Wakley class where she talks about her puke on a page theory, where you put the biggest mess possible down. And you take, let's see if I can find a viewfinder in here. You take a little bit of it, you know, wherever that ends up being, and you separate that from everything else, and you got a cool little ditty going on there, right? So, and you know, and the same with this craziness. That's that foil I put on Yupo with that glue, and then put gold leaf on it. And then dropped all kind of pigments and inks and all watercolor on here. But if you take, you know, just that little bit out of there, you know, it looks pretty cool. And you can just move it around and find your favorite spots. You know, anyway. And that was just to try to justify my crazy, overly busy collage. Kathy, I'd rather you not take that survey because I think I know what the answer is. Kathy's going to take a survey to see if people think I've lost my mind or not. Let's not go there, my friend. Okay. So this is, I think it's 11 by 15. Yeah, it's 11 by 15. So I'm going to cut this up in ATCs, and I have it oriented this way. So I'm going to cut off 3.5-inch strips this way. And then I'll go back and cut each one of those into 2.5 inches tall. You dig? So this is all kind of buckled now because this is watercolor paper that was soaking wet when I started. But I'm really pleased that everything didn't schmutz around, and I wasn't as loosey-goosey with the matte medium as I normally would have been. But under these white circles of this paper, it was gopped on there. So CB, do we need a vote? Hello, I'm in the room. Well, I can't say I blame you guys. So now this is bigger than 3.5. This is, I'm going to lose an inch. So I need to decide, where do I want to lose and sacrifice the inch? This bottom bit or this top bit? And they're both kind of cool looking. I really liked how this watercolor kind of feathered down there. So I really hate to lose that. But I really hate to lose that prettiness up there too. Ah, crap. Well, all right, we're going to go this way. I'm going to lose the top. I'm going to save the bottom because that's got some cool bits on it that kind of I put on the bottom. So now here's the little sacrificial piece, right? But you're pretty in your own right, my little friend. So now I'm going to take these strips and I'm going to cut them 2.5 wide, and that's going to give me an ATC size, right? But now, see what I mean? That doesn't look so bad now. Doesn't look so crazy. And I'm going to end up with, and see where it cut this little bit of the circle off, and you only got that little teeny bit in there, right? So I'm going to lose, like, what is this? 6, 5. I'm going to lose an inch of this. So I need to decide what I want to lose. And this isn't that interesting to me. So I'm going to decide to lose that inch. So I'm going to cut up 2.5 this way. And 2.5. What did I say I'm going to lose? This. Keep that. All right, so there's those. I'll show these. I'll hold these up closer later and show you. So this one's cool looking. I want that bit right there. And I'm not done with these yet. I don't know about this. It's going to take up most of that. I don't know. This one's kind of bland though. Maybe I'll take a 1/2 inch off of either side of this. Well, I don't know. Let's just try it and see what happens. Because I'm gonna stripe that 3D stuff all over these still, so they're still not dead. They're still not finished. 2.5. See, I got half the surfboard on there and half over here. See what I mean, Vern? So, I don't know about you. That one's going to need a little help. I like both of these ends, so I'm going to take that. And I'm going to take this, 2.5. See, it's got that little piece of that, half of that strip there. You never really know exactly where this is going to fall. So what do I want to lose there? I don't know. Let's do this. 2.5, and I got all those little silver blocks, just half of those. All right, and then this. Do I want to lose this, or do I want to lose this? We're going to lose this. There we go. And one more. I really like this end, so I'm going to keep that. So you got that little arch of that fuzzy paper. And a little pictograph, a little splatter, a little bit of the circle, some of this, some of the painted papers that are on there with some watercolor showing. So you get little bits of everything in there. This one's kind of cool. Let's see. Which do I want to lose? This edge? That's kind of bland. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do, no, this way. Almost hosed myself up there. Jean's not keeping an eye on me. Okay. So here are these. What's my time? 1:45. Gonna finish right on time, I believe. So now here's the little bits that, right? Somebody will be happy with those somehow, somewhere. So here's each little piece. And I'm gonna lay these down. Doesn't matter which order they go in. I really like that one. That's one of my faves. This one's kind of pale, but I'm going to add black to it in a minute, so it might end up being pretty cool. That one looks kind of pale and bland, but we're about to make it happier. Is it shiny silver? That's that PBO oil paint marker I got. Mama like that. Some of them where they don't have like anything, any writing or any pictographs that indicate an upside down, you can orient them however makes you happy. That one's kind of cool. I love this piece of paper there. And here's where I overlap that black stamp with the ultra metallic cashmere. There's that one. This one's a little boring, but a little black sword fight on there. Ooh, I like this one. I'm going to do this again with watercolor. I really liked how it came out. I was pleased that it didn't, kind of bendy though, warped from the water. Not a fan of that one, but we'll see what happens when I add the 3D stuff. Oop, no. I'm keeping these separate so that I can, they don't get all stuck together with the tulip stuff I'm going to throw on there. It's a lot of silver on this one and a lot of pale paint, but that might look really cool with some black streaks through it. As is this one. It must have come from a similar area on the thing. That's pretty cool. That's kind of a mishmash. Kind of looks like a planetary. It looks like a Saturn's ring around something there. I like this on the edge here. All right, so there we go. So what do I have? 416 of them. I'm going to get my lovely watercolors out of the way, out of harm's way here. And then I'm going to take, this is the Tulip Slick Paint. Get it at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, all those places I think have it. And you shake it down. So you try to get rid of the air bubbles, right? And now, for my next trick, I'm going to get it going over here on the side. Make sure it's going. Try to make sure I don't have any bubbles. And then I'm going to just do one sweeping motion across while I'm squeezing the whole time. I'm going to start off the paper. So if I have a paint fart, it ends up over here and not splatter on a card. Sometimes it happens anyway. That's the beauty of the whole process. You never can control. Hey, Terry. Hey, Button. So here we go. Here we go. As I'm saying it, here we go. Start off the paper, squeeze, and slice it up. Just throw it out there. Doesn't matter where it goes. Again, each piece is individual. I just want to make sure everything's hit with a little bit of black. I don't want to end up with just one streak of black on something because that looks kind of weird. So we're going to go like that, maybe there, like that. Cut that up that way. That. So when this dries, this is all going to be stuck together. I'm going to have to go cut it all apart. Let me get you in a little bit closer. And it might go, some of this might go out of frame when I bring you in closer. Try to do my best. But that's just the way it is. I can't do much about it. And you can just go crazy with this stuff. Back away from the black streaks. All right, now I'm going to put a little bit of white on there. Get it started over there. And let's see where we want to go with this. See, that farted and started right there instead of over here where I tried to get it to start, but that's okay. Don't anybody panic. This one's got a lot of air bubbles in it. All right, let me see. What am I missing? Sometimes you got to kind of get back away from it to figure out. There's no, well, there's one white one on there. There's white on there. I think I got black and white on everything, didn't I? I think I did. And see where this was plain before? It's got all these chops of this black through there. Crazy question. Can you use the fabric puffy paint in a mixed media journal page? I don't know how that would work when you'd close the journal button. There you go. Star has, but I didn't like the results. Okay. Yeah, if it was on a piece of separate paper, like maybe something like this, I don't know how you'd work with cutting it. I guess you could cut it. What is this Bic Warehouse I'm seeing the link for? bicwarehouse.com? Is that something I need to know about? And you're not telling me? That would not be nice. Yeah. Oh, hey, Ange. Yeah, that's what I would think. It would get kind of sticky. All right, I'm going to stop with the white. But I am going to look at something here for a second. Hang on. Maybe one more little something. If I can figure out where those somethings are. Here we go. Is that a perfect pearl that I used before? Silver, white. I had kind of a champagne color. I might throw a little bit of that in there. I thought I had a champagne color of that I used on that metallic collage that I did that time. However, oh, here it is. Here we go. It was in a different file bin over there, a different sorting bin. So these are perfect pearls. Same kind of, these are by Ranger. The same kind of stuff, but dimensional pearlescent paint. Trying to see if there's a name. It's silver. I don't know if there's a name on here. That seems weird that there isn't a name. Just numbers on the bottom. Huh. This one's kind of a champagne color. I might mix a little bit of that in. And these came out kind of cool before because I squeezed it out really hard and it kind of went zzz, like a rope. Like it spiraled on it, looked like pearls, actually. To tell you the truth, it kind of looked like pearls. All right. I don't want to waste it, but I need to get her going. Where am I going to put you, my little lovely? I might just put this on a few, see how it ends up. Oh, well, didn't do the same thing it did before. How rude. This comes out a lot thicker and a lot. It's not doing at all what it did before. That's okay. Here, that kind of started doing that little squiggly thing. Let's try one over here. And then we're going to back away from that. Oh, look, there it goes. It's not doing the same thing, but it's doing something different. Maybe right here. As I say I'm going to stop, I'm not stopping. Did you notice that? Here's my husband. Hey, babe.
Go ahead up, Frank.
Oh, okay, cool.
We'll right over and get some stuff and call and make sure he's good to go.
Okay.
See you.
Okay.
Go open or closed?
You can leave it open. They can come down if they want. I'm almost done anyway. I got 5 minutes before my recording kicks out, actually. Tell them I said hi. See, I'm letting that just kind of drop in random squiggly threads. I don't know if you can see that. Can I show you without messing up everything? See how that one squiggly came out? All right. Let's back away from the 3D media. All right. I think I'm going to stop it there, and I'm going to have to let this sit overnight for this to cure. And it's cold down here. So, hey, Mojo. Where's my baby Mo? Oh, my baby Mo, huh? He's a good boy. Hey, my baby boy. Yes, he is. But some of these, they look pretty cool, actually. Try to see if you can see what that added to those. Little dimension, breaking up the design a little bit, adding a little texture. To make each their own little work of art. And then what I'm gonna do is once I cut all this scrap stuff that's gonna dry on there off, I'm gonna take my Montana marker, Molotow marker, in black, and I'm gonna edge the paper. And I've done so many of them that this one actually has, well, you can't see it, I was using it for something else. Well, you can't see it, but there's a groove in here where I've worn it from using it on the paper around these so many times. But anyway, there you have it. So the watercolor worked. I'm tickled about that. I didn't get a muddy mess. It didn't even really move. And I don't really know how that happened. Oh, thanks, Linda. I probably did not stop talking. What? CB's going to stream? Is that a rumor? Don't lie. If CB's streaming, you need to put a link out there, girlfriend. Ah, come on. Don't be pulling my leg. Patty, did my stamps arrive yet? They did not, actually. I did not get them yet. I totally forgot about them, but I didn't get them. When they show up, it'll trigger my memory, and then I will remember they're yours, and I'll put them in Joan's pile. Thanks, Button. And Carol, everybody. Thanks for spending your Sunday afternoon with me, ladies. At 75 of you out there right now. That's a good group. Appreciate it. See, Ange, that's how rumors start. CB, come on, be a sport. You'd be great at it. Yeah, right, Jen? If CB streams, you're going to pass out. I hear you. Thanks, Kathy and Kia, everybody. I got one more minute, and then I'm going to have a crash landing. So anyway, there they are. Let me see if I can get any closer. A little bit. But they really look different when you, let me show you real quick. When you take one of these that just, there's kind of like nothing to it, right? And then you put a little black edge on it. Thanks, Gail. I'll just do this and run this down there and kind of frame it. It really helps. Oh, crap, I wrote on that one. We'll forget I did that while I'm trying to show you this real quick. But you can get that on an angle where it'll give you the slightest little black even border around the whole thing. And that really helps them pop too. I wonder if I can do that on the, where's the little Yupo pieces I had over here? Where are you, honey? Will this work on Yupo? Let's try this one. It's really fine on this, but it is there. I don't know if you can even see that, but it did make it, it did paint on there. Cool. Mama like. All right, guys, that's going to kick me out of the recording. It's 2 o'clock. That's 3 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and save my video. So thanks for watching if you're watching this on YouTube.